Hey guys, this is Zach with Built by Liquidation, and today we are talking about MSRP, manufactured suggested retail price, and how it relates to resale and liquidation. So you're going to see MSRP a lot, or you're going to look at MSRP a lot when you're looking at deals, making offers. And so we're going to talk today about looking at it on a manifest, how it affects your resale value, when you should care about the MSRP and when you shouldn't. To get started, I'm going to show you guys a screen recording of my laptop for a liquidation truckload that we purchased really several years ago. Um, but it's going to give us a little bit of insight. Command Shift 5 to screen record on your laptop, by the way. So this is, and it's screen recording, cool. This is a manifest of an Amazon high piece count. I think this was, oh, I don't know what facility it was from, but it doesn't really matter. Um, And off to the right here, I'm going to scroll over. We have the retail price, we have the title, the quantity, and what we're looking at today is the retail price. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy and paste I'm going to use an item that we all know, and we'll use this HP Chromebook, 14 laptop Intel. The manifest says it retails for $337.61. I'm going to copy and paste, and it's here at Walmart, and it's here on Amazon. We'll go with the Amazon one since it's an Amazon uh, manifest, and here we have it for $219. So when you're buying a liquidation truckload with a manifest, you're typically paying a percentage of retail. I believe we paid 10% of retail for this particular load, so we would have paid 10% of $337. Turns out it's not on sale. The listing is actually $219 on Amazon. So we're gonna tell you what percentage we actually paid, which would be $37 divided by 219. We actually paid 17%, which is almost twice the amount we thought we were paying. So that's one way the MSRP can affect your load price or your cost per unit price. The MSRP is the manufacturer's suggested retail price, and that's typically what most retailers will go off of when they're liquidating their products. And it's how you can get in trouble really quickly. When you are paying 10% of MSRP, it's actually 17% of true retail. Your cost gets skewed very quickly. So it's really important when you're analyzing a manifest to check and make sure what you're being charged is actually what you're getting. A lot of times the broker or the seller can't fix it. I mean, that's how Amazon liquidated it. That's how Home Depot liquidated it. That's how whatever retailer liquidated it. Harbor Freight used to be really bad at it. There's not a whole lot you can do. Some sellers are inflating the manifest artificially and hoping you don't check, because that 10% sounds really good for that laptop. And if you don't check, you get screwed really quickly. So tip number one is check your manifest, spend the time, copy paste, make sure you're paying the percentage you think you're paying. So next up, does MSRP matter? Not really. What matters is what you actually pay. Brands versus private label. So this is where people also get in trouble. HP is a really well-known brand, and that's the example that we're using for the liquidation side. So when you're selling a well-known brand that's respected, that's trusted, you can get 60-70% of retail for that item. On the flip side, you have private label brands that me and you could manufacture today and slap an MSRP on. And I'll show you an example of that. This is a pottery company that we liquidated for, and it's kind of hard to see on the screen. I can zoom in a little bit, but you can see they're super pretty bowls. They're nice quality bowls. They're ceramic. The suggested MSRP on that top bowl is $85. I don't know anybody in our space that thinks that bowl is worth $85. If I'm selling it in a discount retail store, I'm probably only going to sell it for $15, which is about 20% of retail. So I can't pay maybe 5% of retail would be my offer. Anybody can manufacture product and slap an MSRP label on it. That doesn't mean anybody is going to pay half of that if you're a discount retailer. So it's really important when you're making an offer to understand what you can sell it for and that doesn't always mean the MSRP is going to agree with you. So a lot of times we get liquidation deals and the seller or the owner of the deal, well, it retails for $100. Well, you say it retails for $100. It's being liquidated for a reason. A lot of times that reason is the price point didn't work in the market, and so we're going to make an offer based off what we think it's worth. And how do we find out what we think it's worth? So if I'm dealing with a private label item and I need to make an offer, what I'll do is I'll go in the market and find similar items that are selling actively, and I usually go with the lower tiered brands. So if we're working with private label, I'm going to go based off Walmart's private label brand. Say this bowl retails for $85. MSRP is $85. Well, Walmart sells a similar bowl for $25. Okay, well, maybe I can get half of 25. That would be 12. So I'm going to offer $5 on that $85 bowl. I'm actually going to offer less because I have to sell it to someone that's then going to resell it. So we have to offer even less money. But it's really important to understand. It's really important to understand what you can sell it for. That's what really matters in liquidation. It doesn't matter what the MSRP is. It doesn't matter what the retail value is. It matters what the customer is willing to pay. MSRP, again, is manufacturer suggested retail price. That's what the manufacturer wants the retailer to sell it for. That does not mean that's what the retailer has to sell it for. Something else you want to be wary of is sale pricing. You want to hold firm if you're a seller, because a lot of times you will pay based on the MSRP, and then the retail store, it just so happens a week later, puts that item on sale for 2 weeks. You don't have to match the retailer sale. You don't then have to go half off of the sale price. Hold firm to your pricing. That sale price will come down. You want to be careful of rollback pricing. Rollback pricing typically stays that new price, but special deals, flash sales, those don't really matter. You want to just weather the storm. You also just want to watch out. You never want to buy a liquidation when it's on sale for the MSRP. You never know how long the sale is going to last for. The seller can tell you, oh, it's going to be a week, it's a month, it's a year. It just gets reduced. My suggestion, if you're making an offer on an item that's currently on sale, make the offer based on the sale price. That protects you. That is MSRP. For those of you who had questions, we love the questions. If I can give you any more information on MSRP, how to analyze manifests based on the MSRP, how to make offers based on the MSRP, feel free to drop a comment below. We'd love to answer any more questions that you might have. Go out and make some money.